Hey everyone, today let's talk about surrender or letting go because it's a really common word these days. Most of us are a little confused about it, or we're even doing it wrong, as I've observed. To understand this, it's important to understand that there's two simultaneous things happening, which is equal to our experience of life. There is this larger universal orchestration, the life plan, the fabric of life, which literally is about all of us and the way the planets are going around and the generations before and after and all the things that are moving together in this cosmic dance, right? So there's a one is that, and simultaneously there is a personal experience, so there is the whole world and alchemy and universe within, and how things are shifting within. So it's like outside inside, outside inside experience. That's what life really to an individual is, and they're both symbiotic. What's happening within affects outside, what's happening outside responds within, and in this sense it's a loop. Now, while these two things are happening, there is a concept of surrender going around. We're all talking about letting go, surrender, but a lot of people are actually troubled by this, even, and it's sometimes not easy at all to let go. It really complicates because life is coming at us a certain way, and then we're trying to also surrender, or we think we are, but we are not surrendering. I will come to that. In three ways, surrender comes to us in the form of life. Let's get to the first one. It's a pretty obvious one. Imagine a scenario where you can't do something about it. For instance, you give an exam and you can't kind of predict what the outcome would be, or you send an email for an opportunity and you can't predict what the outcome would be. But we keep trying to, in our minds, in our bodies, trying to control the outcome. One is a very obvious manifestation of surrender, that in that moment you must let go. So, in such moments, we simply have to ask ourselves a question of what I can control, what I can't control. What you can control, for example, might be to follow up on the email after 3 days. Be like, hey, is there something for me? I'm looking forward to hearing from you. But say you've done that, or it's just the first day or so and you're anxious about it. What you can't do is make that response come faster. So you must let go. So every time you're faced in this scenario where there is a situation where you're expecting an outcome from life, always ask yourself, what can I control, what can I not control? And if there is things that you cannot control, let go. If there's things you can control, do that. And doing brings me to the second scenario. Surrender shows up in our life. In the second scenario, life comes to you as if prompting an action from within. And this is a very tricky one, but a very important one. When this divine orchestration, along with the alchemy within, is telling us to take an action, is telling us to respond a certain way. And this, in that sense, is our free will, is prompting us to do something. Life is whispering to us about something, and it is a stimulus to go do something, but then we are not. That is also when we are supposed to be surrendering into the action or the outcome that is naturally coming, but we resist it for certain preconceived notions, fears, etc. For example, in a relationship, perhaps life is giving you signs of how your partner or your father or your son, anybody you're in a relationship with, is doing certain things to prompt you to say something in anger. But because you have a judgment around being angry, and you have decided, or you have a block around voicing your anger, you don't do it. And it's only going to get, the whispers from life are only going to get louder. For example, there will be worse consequences, bigger fights, bigger conflicts, or you might have to pay a bigger price by the time you decide to vent your anger, because that's a judgment around a natural emotion, and it's never going to help. So in those scenarios, we have to surrender our preconceived notions about how one should show up in the world. There's really no rule book. We must be surrendered to the fabric of life, to the orchestration of life and what it makes us feel, and simply act accordingly. This applies to sexual attraction towards someone, feeling anger towards someone, feeling joy. So, really, life is bringing a stimulus, and to surrender to that, that's the second form of surrender. The third form of surrender comes from this, which is to respond to life as it happens outside and arises within without judgment of either. Judgment as observation, judgment to align yourself is good judgment. That's why they say good judgment. But judgment as a habit, for example, judging the anger that's rising within and not allowing it to happen. Or, for example, you might be seeking money and the money you thought would come your way didn't come that way but came another way. For example, someone who you thought was below you comes and gives you money for something, and you have an ego issue coming up in taking that money. Life is often going to test you with these kind of things. These are places where we need to surrender our judgments, our expectations, our preconceived notions, the way we thought things would work out, or the way we thought we should act. Because there, you have to surrender your judgment around who can bring you money and so on. Surrendering our preconceived notions about life is surrender. I do not think that in a situation in our life, by simply saying, I've let go, any of us can let go. When we let go of the blocks we have around our understanding of people, like I have often heard people say, I was having a fight with this one, and I said, you know what? I'm going to let go. And then I explore it a little deeper and I'm like, wow, what made you let go? They're like, you know what? I know this one is like this one is like this. But really, in that moment, you have to let go your judgment of this one is like this. Keep the observation, but do not put them in that box and therefore let go. Then you haven't really let go. You've let go till they stay in that box. As soon as they come out of the box again, or someone else comes out of that box that you've made for them, you're going to be tested again. So it's not true surrender, it is like a makeshift surrender. So these are three ways in which we can surrender, and we are misunderstanding surrender. And unless we are doing all of this in our dance with life, our wish to be a surrendered being is not complete. It's and it's not to say that it has to be complete. I'm just bringing it to your awareness that it's not complete. Only when you're truly meeting all three aspects of letting go what you cannot control, and that's playing out in the divine orchestration of things, of the things that you are trying to control, like an emotion that's wanting to come up, an action that's wanting to come up, and letting it happen. So the alchemy within letting it go. And the third one is recognizing that the world is a mirror of you. And when you understand that, so you let go of that concept you're holding, and therefore release that human, that job, that situation as a form of surrender. Perhaps this is not an easy one, but it's a super important one. So, all of you wishing to live life in a flow state, in a surrendered state, and it's truly joyous to be able to live life like that, because then it takes off of you, off your head, off your shoulders, off your heart, everything that doesn't belong with you, and allows you to kind of surf with life, ride the waves, and control and orchestrate what you can. So it brings to you your power and really takes off everything that you're not supposed to be worried about. I hope this helps you understand surrender. It's much easier than I think new age spirituality makes it look. Just like live life more like a dance with life without as much of your own notions as you can, and you'll find surrender quite easily.